Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason, bringing you today's episode. My fuzzy co-star Freya has already decided she is done with me and has gone downstairs, so she probably won't make an appearance in today. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We would appreciate any support you guys might want to give us. We're going to keep doing these videos anyway. As you can see, we've got a ton of books. This is about a fifth of the books we have, not counting the thousands on our Kindles. And we love to talk about books. We love to bring books to you guys and things for you guys to read. So please give us those likes and subscribes as support. Again, we would appreciate it, but no need to do it if you don't want to. We're still going to keep doing these videos for you guys. Also, don't forget to check the links down below for links to today's books and any other applicable links that may apply. Today, I want to talk about my 5 favorite books that I reviewed in the month of May. Not the 5 most popular. I already filmed that one, probably released before this video. But just my personal 5 favorite books of May. As soon as we finish June, I'm probably going to do a video of my 5 favorite books of the first half of the year. But this is just our monthly one. 5 favorite books from May. Now this is going to be in no particular order. Number 1 actually also made number 1 on most popular videos, most popular books from May that we've reviewed. That's Dungeon Diving 102 by Bruce Centaur. I could rave about this series for quite a bit of time, and I don't want to give away any spoilers in it. Bruce Centaur is a phenomenal author, incredible author that writes some incredible stuff. His world building is really, really cool, and as I've said before, one of the great things about him, he doesn't write infinite series. He plans his series out and he writes them a finite set of books and then moves on to the next series, so you know you're going to get an ending too. So one of the things that one of the problems I've run into is there's a lot of authors that they've written a bunch of series and they have one that really catches on, so they don't ever stop writing it. They just write it, and eventually I get bored with it and move on. So I never actually find out what happens to the characters in so many of the books I've read, just because at a certain point they're just stretching it. They're just stretching it for just to stretch it. While Bruce Centaur does not. He will end his series. He will have a plan. And the world building in Dungeon Diving might be the best world building he has done yet. Really cool modern technology, the way the dungeon works, the way they manage to link different races and different worlds and different realities, how magic works, just everything about it. Really, really cool. I'm trying not to give away spoilers here. Really, really freaking cool. My number 2 favorite book from the month of May. Those of you guys that have been watching prior to this, that have been watching my channel for a little while, could probably guess this one and the next one that I'm going to talk about. Lux Voice number 6 by Daniel Shinhofen. The Lux Voice is my personal favorite series of Daniel's. Now, he's written a bunch of series. He's a phenomenal author. He's got a very large following, and he's really become well known within this niche. I personally prefer the Lux Voice series. Now I know that's not his most popular by most people's standards, but to me, it's my personal favorite. Possibly because I'm a huge fan of Old West type of books. I'm just kind of on a personal basis, sort of an amateur historian. I'm an amateur fan of Old West history, so I find it a fascinating time period. And when we have a phenomenal author like Daniel that is able to write great characters, great world building, that manages to take an Old West type of setting, combine it with a fantasy-esque type of setting, plus combine it with a lit RPG type of setting, your usual gods and goddesses and your isekai type of thing, and blend it all together and make a great world, a great story, a compelling story. It's awesome, and that's what this series is. Daniel's series on the Lux Voice, just fantastic. One of my favorite series. As soon as each book comes out, I devour them. Speaking of devouring, now I know I said no particular order, but the next one probably is my absolute 100% favorite book from the month of May, Battle Mage Farmer 5 by Seth Ring. This series is absolutely unreal good. This is probably my second favorite lit RPG series out there, behind only Defiance of the Fall, that is hands down my favorite by a very wide margin. This is my second favorite. Absolutely incredible. Same thing, as the second it comes out, I absolutely devour it, as does my wife. It's one of the few. There's not too many series that we share in common. This is one of them that as soon as it comes out, I let her know, hey, this book just came out, and she's just diving into it. I can't remember who turned me on to the Battle Mage Farmer series, but I do remember that it came because I was a huge fan of the first Beware Chicken book, and someone recommended it, and yeah, just absolutely incredible. Seth Ring is already a well-known and fabulous author in lit RPG and fantasy, but the Battle Mage Farmer series to me is just incredible, and the world he's building and he's expanding it. In Battle Mage Farmer 5, he expands it even more, and expands more about what's going on with John Sutton and his abilities, and how overpowered he can be, and yet manages to find ways to put him in positions that are not exactly advantageous, despite how overpowered he should be and can be, and usually is. Just again, I can't. There's no words. Battle Mage Farmer is just an incredible series. Fantasy series, lit RPG series, just an overall great book, regardless of what genre you like to read. The Battle Mage Farmer series is amazing. Number 4, Villain for Hire 2 by Jay Ori. I'm a huge fan of superhero books, supervillain type. I guess I do tend to read more supervillain books than superhero books, but overall, I'm a big fan of that particular genre, the superpowers and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe I identify with the villains more. I don't know, but they're more compelling, they're more interesting to me, or maybe they just get written better. I think too many people try and write superheroes as too one-dimensional, cookie cutter, too perfect kind of thing. Whereas this one and the next one I'm going to talk about kind of tend to become more anti-heroes or honorable villains in a way, but the Villain for Hire series is great because it's basically a professional villain. He's a professional, so he gets paid to be a supervillain. He gets paid by the heroes. He gets paid by the heroes to be a supervillain, or he gets paid by marketing companies to be a supervillain. He works as an independent contractor. Now, in the first book, he gained a couple things, people, things, objects, stuff like that, and problems. And book 2 expands upon those things and expands upon those problems and shows up some new problems from an area that you absolutely would not have originally expected. Of all the people he has collected around him, the one that ends up causing the major issues within this book was the last one that I would have expected. But it's pretty cool because then we also learn a little bit more about the why. Why is this person the way they are? It's not just a random superhero mutation, things along those lines. Absolutely fantastic. And just the mindset of the professional villain, just a working stiff, but a pro. Awesome at what he does, and very knowledgeable, skilled, and again, just a sheer professional. Not a bad guy, just a professional. And number 5, The Immortal's Guide to Supervillainy by M.E. Thorne. I really enjoy a lot of Immortal books. I mean, the Jean Doucette's Immortal series is an incredible series. Really sad when it ended because you can get a lot of snarky humor from Immortal type characters that have been around and seen things. You get a lot. It's kind of a weird phrase. But you get a lot of historical snarky humor. It's kind of weird, but the Immortal characters get pretty interesting, especially in this one where it's an Immortal supervillain, but his only superpowers is immortality and the fact that he's intelligent. He's intelligent, he's learned, and he's ruthless. And he also collects people around him. But he's just immortal, intelligent, and rich. Rich is a superpower, as we know from a particular movie that came out not too long ago. And again, the mentality of the character is just absolutely a riot. I won't call this one necessarily an anti-hero, but his reasons for being a villain are pretty interesting, and his ideas of what villainy truly is does kind of go more along with the hero side, or at least the anti-hero side, than what most people consider as a villain. And also, his philosophies on the weaknesses of superheroes and why they're not really helping is pretty interesting, and actually does make a whole lot of sense. So M.E. Thorne has written a pretty cool little series, pretty interesting little series, and I am very, very much looking forward to the next book. So there you guys go, my 5 favorite books from the month of May. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.